Hello. Your heart is the engine of your life. It beats over 100,000 times a day, pumping blood, oxygen and nutrients to every single cell in your body. It never takes a break. It never asks for rest. It simply serves you faithfully, moment after moment, year after year. And yet, many people unknowingly sabotage this incredible organ every single day. Not through dramatic choices, but through ordinary foods that quietly damage heart health over time. What you eat today is shaping the strength of your heart tomorrow. Some foods don't cause instant harm, but they slowly inflame your arteries, raise your blood pressure, spike your cholesterol, and weaken your cardiovascular system. The danger is that these foods are everywhere, heavily marketed and socially normalized. People think just one won't hurt, but the damage comes from repetition. Highly processed meats are one of the biggest culprits. Sausages, bacon, hot dogs, and deli meats are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and harmful compounds that inflame blood vessels and increase the risk of heart disease. They may taste convenient and satisfying, but they place an enormous burden on your heart. Sugary beverages are another silent destroyer. Sodas, sweet teas, flavored coffees, and energy drinks flood your bloodstream with sugar, forcing your heart to work harder while promoting fat storage around vital organs. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance, obesity, and high blood pressure, a perfect storm for heart disease. Every single day, with every bite you take, you are casting a vote for the future of your heart. You may not feel the impact immediately. There is no alarm that goes off after a sugary drink or a greasy meal. There is no sharp pain after processed meat or deep-fried food. Instead, the damage happens quietly, slowly, invisibly. That is what makes it so dangerous. Your daily food choices are either healing your heart or silently damaging it, and most people don't realize which direction they are moving until years later, when symptoms finally appear. Your heart is one of the most loyal organs in your body. It beats without rest, day and night, through stress, exhaustion, grief, joy, and struggle. It keeps working even when you neglect it. It keeps pumping even when you overload it with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. It does not complain. It simply adapts, until one day it can no longer compensate. And when that moment comes, the consequences are often sudden and life-altering. Many of the foods that harm your heart are not rare or exotic. They are common, convenient, and socially accepted. They are in your breakfast, your lunch, your snacks, and your dinner. Highly processed foods, sugary drinks, refined carbohydrates, fried meals, packaged snacks, and fast food slowly inflame your blood vessels and disturb your metabolism. Over time, this inflammation damages the inner lining of your arteries, making it easier for cholesterol and plaque to stick. As plaque builds up, blood flow becomes restricted, blood pressure rises, and your heart is forced to work harder just to keep you alive. What makes this even more tragic is that most people believe they are eating normal. They see everyone around them eating the same foods, so they assume it must be fine. They follow habits passed down through families, workplaces, and culture without ever questioning whether those habits are destroying their health. They trust labels that say low-fat, diet, or sugar-free, not realizing that these products are often loaded with refined carbohydrates, artificial sweeteners, and chemical additives that disrupt the body in different but equally harmful ways. The heart does not get damaged overnight. It gets damaged meal by meal, snack by snack, drink by drink. One soda seems harmless. One fast food meal feels like a small indulgence. One dessert looks like a reward after a long day. But when these choices become routine, they create a biochemical environment inside your body that favors disease. Blood sugar spikes become normal. Insulin resistance develops. Inflammation becomes chronic. Bad cholesterol rises. Good cholesterol falls. Blood pressure creeps upward. None of this happens loudly, which is why people ignore it. But here is the powerful truth. The same daily choices that damage your heart can also heal it. Your body has an extraordinary ability to repair itself when you stop feeding it poison and start feeding it nourishment. The moment you reduce sugar, your insulin sensitivity begins to improve. The moment you cut back on processed foods, inflammation starts to decrease. The moment you replace fried meals with whole foods, your blood vessels begin to regain flexibility and strength. This is not about extreme dieting or living in fear of food. It is about awareness. It is about understanding that food is not just pleasure or convenience, it is information. Every meal sends a message to your cells. That message can say protect and repair, or it can say inflame and destroy. You get to decide which message you send 3 or more times a day, every single day of your life. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to change everything overnight. What matters is direction, not perfection. Choosing water instead of soda. Choosing whole grains instead of refined ones. Choosing home-cooked meals more often than fast food. Choosing fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins instead of packaged snacks. These small decisions, repeated consistently, create massive long-term change. Your heart has carried you through every moment of your life so far. It has supported your dreams, your struggles, your victories, and your survival. It deserves better than slow, silent destruction. It deserves care, respect, and nourishment. So today, not tomorrow, not next week, not after the next health scare, today, decide that your daily food choices will no longer betray your heart. Let them become acts of protection. Let them become tools of healing. Let them become investments in a longer, stronger, healthier life. Because every bite is either building your future health or feeding your future disease. Processed and sugary foods are one of the fastest and most dangerous paths to cardiovascular disease. Yet they are also some of the most common foods people consume every single day. They are cheap, convenient, heavily advertised, and designed to taste irresistible. What most people don't realize is that these foods are not just empty calories. They actively disrupt the body's chemistry and slowly break down the health of the heart. Sugary foods and drinks cause rapid spikes in blood sugar. Each spike forces the pancreas to release large amounts of insulin to bring sugar levels back down. When this happens repeatedly, day after day, the body becomes less sensitive to insulin. This condition, known as insulin resistance, is a major driver of weight gain, inflammation, and type 2 diabetes, all of which dramatically increase the risk of heart disease. At the same time, excess sugar is converted into fat and stored around vital organs, including the heart. Highly processed foods add another layer of danger. They are often loaded with refined carbohydrates, trans fats, and excessive sodium. Trans fats raise bad cholesterol and lower good cholesterol, accelerating plaque buildup in the arteries. Refined carbohydrates behave like sugar in the bloodstream, creating the same harmful blood sugar spikes and crashes. High sodium intake increases blood pressure, forcing the heart to work harder and damaging blood vessel walls over time. Together, sugar and processed ingredients create a perfect storm inside the body. They inflame blood vessels, thicken the blood, stiffen the arteries, and overload the heart. None of this happens overnight. It happens quietly, gradually, while people feel normal and assume their health is fine. The encouraging truth is that removing these foods begins reversing damage faster than most people expect. Cutting back on sugar and processed meals reduces inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, lowers blood pressure, and improves cholesterol levels. Your heart responds quickly to better fuel. Every time you choose whole foods over processed ones, you are interrupting the disease process. You are giving your heart a chance to recover, strengthen, and protect you for decades to come. Most people don't realize that some of the most dangerous threats to their heart are not obvious. They are hidden in everyday foods that look harmless, taste good, and are marketed as normal parts of a modern diet. Hidden fats, excessive salt, and added sugar are quietly clogging arteries and weakening heart health, not through dramatic effects, but through slow, relentless damage that builds over years. Hidden fats are especially deceptive. Many packaged faux ODs, restaurant meals, and baked goods contain unhealthy fats that are not listed clearly or are disguised under unfamiliar ingredient names. These fats raise bad cholesterol while lowering good cholesterol, creating the perfect conditions for plaque to form along artery walls. As plaque accumulates, blood flow becomes restricted, oxygen delivery drops, and the heart is forced to pump harder to push blood through narrowed vessels. This constant strain weakens the heart muscle over time. Excessive salt is another silent contributor to heart disease. Sodium causes the body to retain water, which increases the volume of blood circulating through your blood vessels. This extra volume raises blood pressure, placing enormous stress on artery walls and the heart itself. Over time, High blood pressure damages the delicate lining of blood vessels, making them more vulnerable to cholesterol buildup and inflammation. Many people believe they are not consuming much salt because they rarely use a salt shaker, not realizing that most sodium comes from processed foods, canned soups, sauces, breads, and restaurant meals. Added sugar may be the most dangerous of all because it hides in foods people don't even consider sweet. Salad dressings, flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, granola bars, sauces, and even bread can contain surprising amounts of sugar. This constant sugar intake causes repeated blood sugar spikes, leading to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and increased fat storage. Around vital organs. It also damages blood vessel walls directly, making arteries stiffer and less able to expand and contract properly. Together, hidden fats, salt, and sugar create a slow-motion disaster inside the body. They inflame tissues, disrupt metabolism, raise blood pressure, distort cholesterol levels, and accelerate arterial aging. None of this produces immediate pain, which is why people ignore it. They feel fine while damage is quietly accumulating beneath the surface. The tragedy is that most of this harm is preventable. Simply becoming aware of what is really in your food changes everything. Reading labels, choosing whole foods, cooking more meals at home, and limiting packaged and restaurant foods dramatically reduces exposure to these hidden dangers. When you remove the constant assault of unhealthy fats, salt, and sugar, the body begins to heal. Blood pressure starts to fall. Inflammation decreases. Cholesterol balance improves. Arteries regain flexibility. Your heart does not need perfection. It needs fewer hidden enemies. Each small change you make removes another layer of silent damage. And over time, those small changes add up to a stronger, healthier heart that can carry you safely through the rest of your life. Convenience foods promise to save time, reduce effort, and make life easier. But they come with a hidden price that most people don't think about until their health begins to fail. What feels like a small shortcut today can become a major burden on your heart tomorrow. The long-term health cost of convenience foods is far greater than the few minutes they save in the kitchen. These foods are engineered for profit and shelf life, not for human health. They are packed with refined carbohydrates, unhealthy fats, artificial additives, preservatives, and excessive sodium. Each of these ingredients places stress on the cardiovascular system in a different way. Refined carbohydrates rapidly convert into sugar in the bloodstream, causing spikes in blood glucose and insulin. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, and chronic inflammation, all major risk factors for heart disease. Unhealthy fats, especially trans fats, and poor quality vegetable oils, damage cholesterol balance by raising bad cholesterol and lowering good cholesterol. This accelerates plaque buildup in the arteries, narrowing blood vessels and restricting blood flow. Excess sodium increases blood pressure by causing the body to retain water. This forces the heart to pump harder and damages blood vessel walls, making them more vulnerable to cholesterol deposits and inflammation. What makes convenience foods especially dangerous is how easily they become habits. They are everywhere, in gas stations, supermarkets, vending machines, offices, schools, and restaurants. They require no preparation, no planning, and no cleanup. When life feels busy or stressful, people naturally reach for the fastest option available. Over time, these occasional meals turn into daily routines. The damage does not happen overnight. It happens gradually, silently, while people feel normal and assume everything is fine. Blood pressure rises slowly, cholesterol drifts into unhealthy ranges, inflammation becomes chronic, weight creeps up year by year, arteries stiffen and narrow, the heart works harder with each passing month. By the time symptoms appear, significant damage has already been done. The heartbreaking part is that most of this is completely preventable. Preparing simple meals at home, choosing whole foods, carrying healthy snacks, and planning ahead just a little can dramatically reduce reliance on convenience foods. These small changes don't require perfection or extreme discipline. They require awareness and intention. Every time you choose real food over convenience food, you are investing in your future health. You are reducing inflammation, stabilizing blood sugar, lowering blood pressure, and protecting your arteries. You are giving your heart a lighter workload and a better chance to stay strong for decades. Convenience foods may save minutes today, but they steal years tomorrow. Your time is valuable. Your health is priceless. Choosing nourishment over convenience is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can make for your heart. Many people believe that once damage is done to the heart, it is permanent and irreversible. This belief creates fear, hopelessness, and the feeling that change no longer matters. But the truth is far more empowering. Your heart can recover when you change what you eat. The human body was designed with an extraordinary capacity to heal itself when it is no longer under constant attack. The moment you begin removing harmful foods, your body starts shifting out of survival mode and into repair mode. Inflammation begins to decrease. Blood sugar becomes more stable. Insulin sensitivity improves. Blood pressure slowly starts to fall. Cholesterol balance begins to correct itself. These changes don't take decades to begin. They start happening within days and weeks of better food choices. When you replace processed foods with whole foods, you give your heart cleaner fuel. Fresh vegetables and fruits provide antioxidants that repair damaged blood vessel walls. Healthy fats from nuts, seeds, olive oil, and avocados reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol levels. Lean proteins help stabilize blood sugar and support tissue repair. Whole grains provide steady energy without dangerous glucose spikes. Water flushes out excess sodium and supports healthy circulation. Even arteries that have begun to stiffen can regain some flexibility. Plaque buildup can slow down or even partially reverse when cholesterol levels improve and inflammation decreases. Blood vessels become less irritated and more responsive. The heart no longer has to work as hard to pump blood through narrowed or inflamed pathways. What makes this especially powerful is how quickly people begin to feel the difference. Energy improves. Breathing feels easier, swelling decreases, sleep becomes deeper, brain fog lifts, blood pressure readings start coming down. These early wins create momentum and motivation to keep going. This healing does not require extreme diets or perfection. It requires consistency. Choosing better foods most of the time is enough to trigger profound change. You don't have to be flawless. You just have to be faithful to the process. Every healthy meal is a message to your body that says, repair, don't inflame. Strengthen, don't weaken. Heal, don't harm. Those messages add up. Day by day, week by week, month by month. Your internal environment shifts toward health instead of disease. Your heart is not your enemy. It is your partner in survival. It has been working tirelessly for you, even when you unknowingly made choices that harmed it. The least you can do is give it a chance to recover, no matter how long you've eaten poorly, no matter how bad your numbers look right now, no matter how discouraged you feel. It is not too late. Your next meal can begin your healing. Many people believe that protecting their heart requires drastic diets, intense workouts, and overwhelming lifestyle changes. This belief stops them before they even begin. It makes heart health feel complicated, exhausting, and impossible to maintain. But the truth is far simpler and far more hopeful. Small, consistent changes protect your heart and extend your life. Your body responds more to what you do repeatedly than to what you do occasionally. One healthy meal does not transform your health, just as one unhealthy meal does not destroy it. What matters is the pattern. When you begin choosing better foods most of the time, your body quietly adjusts in your favor. Blood pressure stabilizes, inflammation decreases, cholesterol levels improve, blood sugar becomes more balanced, the heart gradually experiences less strain. Small changes are powerful because they are sustainable. Replacing sugary drinks with water or herbal tea. Choosing whole grains instead of refined ones. Cooking at home a few more times each week. Adding vegetables to every meal. Eating fruit instead of packaged desserts. These changes may feel minor, but when repeated daily, they create massive biological shifts inside your body. Consistency builds momentum. As your energy improves and your body feels better, you naturally become more motivated to continue. You sleep better, you breathe easier, you feel lighter and clearer. These small victories reinforce your new habits and make healthy choices feel rewarding instead of restrictive. What makes this approach so effective is that it works with human nature instead of against it. Extreme diets fail because they demand perfection and punishment. Small changes succeed because they feel doable. They respect your real life, your schedule, your budget, and your emotional relationship with food. Your heart does not need heroic effort. It needs fewer daily insults. It needs less sugar, less sodium, less unhealthy fat, and fewer processed chemicals. It needs more real food, more fiber, more clean water, and more nutrients. Every small upgrade in your diet removes one more burden from your cardiovascular system. Over time, these small changes compound into extraordinary results. Arteries become healthier. Blood pressure normalizes, cholesterol improves, weight stabilizes. The risk of heart attack and stroke decreases dramatically. You gain not just years of life, but quality of life, energy, mobility, mental clarity, and independence. The most important step is the first one. You don't have to change everything today. You only have to change one thing today. One better choice, one healthier meal, one less sugary drink, one walk instead of sitting. Your heart will meet you halfway, and if you stay consistent, it will reward you with strength, resilience, and a longer, healthier life.